Hey guys, I recently saw one of my most favorite YouTubers ever, Paulina from Paulina Beauty. I saw her do a tag that I was like, now that is a fun tag. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to do that tag because it seems fun and I like to have fun, so why wouldn't I do it, right? So this tag actually was originally created by Little Blushing Birdie. I will link her channel below, also Paulina's, because I love Paulina. And if you don't already know her and watch her videos, I don't really know what you're doing with your life, because she does like the most incredible eye looks. Like, I don't know. And she's not afraid to wear any kind of color on her lips. She just amazes me. Like, I don't know. I just am like always amazed at what she does. But anyway, so Little Blushing Birdie also will be down there. Admittedly, I've never watched her channel. I have no idea who she is, but I am going to check her out because she created a tag that I think is pretty cool. So she must be pretty cool herself. And it is the Makeup Romances tag. Now, when she did it with all kinds of makeup, but Paulina did it, I can't remember who she said she watched that did it this way, and she decided to do it this way too, but she did it with like as the eyeshadow palette edition. So that is how I'm going to do it, with eyeshadow palettes. And so I thought I would just share these with you, and I just thought it was really fun. I liked seeing the things that Paulina shows, and then I'm excited to show you what I chose. And it's gonna be different for everybody, so that's really fun. So first off is the one you're in a committed relationship with. That would be the Persona Identity palette. I have talked about this palette a million times on my channel. It looks like this. Fairly simple. These shimmers are so awesome. They're like very interesting on the lid, like the way the colors pull. These mattes are awesome. They blend so perfectly, like easily. This palette is actually, it's called the Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette for brown eyes, which obviously I don't have brown eyes. But every time I do a look with this palette, it looks good. I know when I'm going somewhere and I don't want to put too much thought into trying to come up with a look or whatever, I always go to this palette. This palette always comes with me when I travel anywhere because it's just that good. Like, I know any look that I do with it is going to be good. So that is definitely my committed relationship palette, the Persona Identity palette. I will also list all of these, link all of them below if they're ones that are still available, so that you're able to see where you can purchase them. And if they're not, I'll just put that they're no longer available. But the one you're still in that honeymoon phase with, that would be this NYX Off Tropic Shifting Sand palette. It looks like this. These colors are so fun, and since we're getting into spring and summer, this is like ultimate spring and summer colors. But also some of these would be really great in the fall also. And actually, I don't really discriminate between seasons, what colors I'm gonna put on my eyes. I just do what I feel like doing that day. But this palette, I'm having so much fun with. I am so enjoying it. I have that bright pink eyeliner that's from this Off Tropic line that I love to do in the water line when I'm doing a look with this palette. It's just so fun, and every time I do, somebody comments on it when I'm out. So yeah, I am definitely in the honeymoon phase with this, still totally loving it and excited to use it. The palette you've friend zoned, that would have to be, which it's covered in fingerprints, my Milani Most Loved Mattes palette, because I was so excited about this palette. This was when I was kind of first starting out with my channel, and excuse me, and I had heard such great things about it. It looks like this. Now these are beautiful, and I love the way it is set up, where you can do row by row to create a color, or a look, I mean, or you can mix and match. So that is really great, especially for people who are starting out. If you're not sure what colors to kind of put together, that is perfect for that. The reason I would say it's been friended is, or friend zoned, I guess, friended, what a dork, is because it's all matte. And for a while there, I was kind of in an all matte zone, like that was kind of what I was doing. But now I love shimmer and stuff so much that I rarely ever reach for this. Actually, I can't even say rarely ever. I have not touched this in months and months. But I'm not gonna let go of it. That's why I would say it's in the friend zone. It's not something I'm giving up on, because my husband actually got this for me because he had heard me talking about it. So it's special in that way, and because it is a good palette. The formula is great. So there's nothing wrong with this palette. It's just kind of gotten shoved back and other ones get more attention. So that's why this Milani Most Loved Mattes is has been friend zoned. Next is the one that got away. Now there's going to be a couple here that I don't have, and that's why they're named what they are or whatever. So I'm going to insert a picture of those particular ones I'm talking about. And the one that got away, I would say, is the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette, which I'll show right now. I love the layout of this palette. I love what how the palette looks like church doors. I love the colors inside the palette. I just think it's a very unique palette. I think it is something that is, like, if you collect makeup, this is like something that's so cool in your collection to have displayed. Like, I would love to have that when eventually someday I have like a beauty room dedicated, to be able to display things that are aesthetically like cool to look at, you know? And I think that palette is like the ultimate cool to look at palette, and not just cool to look at, but I think the colors inside of it are awesome. So I'm so bummed, because that was a limited edition, and I did not get it. That was kind of before I was really getting into things, but then when I saw it later, I was like, oh, I so wish I had that palette. So and I get it, a lot of people do not like Kat Von D, which we'll get into that in a minute, but I think that palette looks awesome, and so that for me is the one that got away. Next is the one you're currently crushing on. So I'm taking that as the one I want, like something that I want, that I am currently like looking at and like, oh, I want that, you know. And that would be the Kaleidos Makeup, their Futurism trio. There's a trio of palettes, and there's 6 color palettes, 6 shadow palettes rather. And there's 3 of them that are just very unique. And I saw Paulina use this on her channel, use all 3 of them, and I was like, I need those. Like, I want those so bad. And the trio you can get for $59 in free shipping, and I want it so bad. So I'm contemplating on using like kind of the rest of my birthday money on it, but at the same time I'm so like thrifty that is like hard for me to even think of doing, but I really love those. So and as you saw, I put a picture up there for you to see what they look like. They're just amazing. They're so, the shimmers in them are, oh my gosh. You have to, actually, I'm going to link Paulina's video right up here about those palettes so you can see, because they're so amazing. And the looks that she does with them, incredible. So those are what I'm currently crushing on. And number 6, okay, the one that broke your heart. I actually have 2, which is actually 3, but I'll explain. First off would be the Kat Von D 10th Anniversary palette. It looks like this. It is awesome. I love the colors in it. It's so fun to create looks with this palette. So my heart isn't broken about the palette itself, like the colors or the way it performs or anything like that. My heart's broken because right after I got it, all the stuff went down with Kat Von D, and I'm not going to get into it, because if you don't know about it, you might not even want to, because I try to avoid drama. But like, while I understand why people are upset with her, that doesn't really, I don't know. It's hard for me to say, because yeah, there are some things I feel very strongly against, and it's like, I don't want to support that. So I completely understand why people feel that way. But then there are things too where I'm like, okay, but like the brand, it's not just her, it's all the people who work for this company and, you know, make a living from it that are affected by it. So I kind of look at it from that view as well. But what really broke my heart about it was that it made it like hard to use on my channel very much, because people were so like upset and mad about it, and I didn't want to bring like any negativity toward my channel. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what broke my heart about this palette. Kind of the same situation with these next 2. It is the Laura Lee bundle that she did, and I got these right before everything went down with her. One of the palettes is the Party Animal, which is this super duper fun, bright colored. These shadows, especially as accent, like on your lower lash line and stuff, so fun. They're like perfect for that. That if you're afraid of color and can't imagine using these all over your lids, these as lower lash line colors are like awesome. So that one, and then the other one in the bundle is the Boss Babe palette, and that one looks like this. Very pretty, very wearable, like daytime, anytime kind of looks you can do out of this. So what breaks my heart about these is the same as with that Kat Von D 10th anniversary palette. It's that I didn't really use them too much on my channel, or maybe not at all. I think I might have done the Boss Babe or the Party in 101. I can't remember now. But anyway, they didn't get a whole lot of love on my channel, even though I use them. I do use them, I just don't use them in videos. And so that's what breaks my heart about it, is that I didn't get to use them and show a lot with them, because same thing, I just didn't want to bring the negativity. And like I said, I understand why people are upset with those people. Absolutely. So I just didn't really want to bring that negativity in. So those are my palettes that broke my heart. The one you grew apart from. This makes me kind of sad too. This is my Revolution Soph palette. I keep all my little plastics. Well, this one I have to because it's got the names on it. I don't have to, but you know what I mean. But this is what the palette looks like. When I got this palette, I was so excited about it. And it was kind of in the beginning of my channel and just getting into everything. And it was just something I was really excited about getting. This Strawberry Sweets, I think it's called. Yeah. Shade was like one of my favorite ones to use. I loved that. I also loved the, is it Pumpkin? Yeah, Pumpkin. Dang, I remember the names. This shade I loved using. This one here was super disappointing because it just did not translate well on the lid. But the thing that makes me, like, why I grew apart from it is because it's just not that good. Like, the quality, it's not terrible by any means. Like, don't get me wrong. And it's very inexpensive, so... But now that I have, like, palettes that are, like, better quality, it's hard for me to reach back for one that I know I'm going to have to work harder to get a look that I want out of it. Excuse me, you know, like that the pigmentation isn't as good, or it's harder to blend. I'm not really going to reach for those. I'm going to reach for the ones that I know perform really well. And especially if I'm in a hurry or doing a video where I don't want to take 5 million years to do the look for you. So that's really why I've kind of grown apart from my Soph palette, but it's pretty. The next one is the one you'd have a fling with but never actually date. That for me would be the Morphe 35M, is that what it is? Yeah, 35M Boss Mood palette. I'll put a picture up here. I love, like, especially like those greens and purples that they're showing there, like the shimmery ones, glitter. I think it looks awesome. The reason I would like to use it is because I'd like to try out those particular like shades and stuff, but I am not a fan of the big palettes like that. They're just bulky to me and annoying to store. They're annoying to me to use because they're just so big, and I don't know. So I just don't really, it's not something I would probably buy because I just, those reasons, like just the big palettes kind of annoy me. So while I'd like to have a little fling with it and do some looks with it, it's not something I'd necessarily want to commit to having. So that's that one. Number 9 is the one you're in a love-hate relationship with. That would be my BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. I mostly love it, okay? Mostly really, really love it. Because the shades in it are so fun. Like, some very unique. The way this Wicked shade is so cool. Like, it's a shift purpley blue. I know, it's really cool. And I also love this Palooza shade. Is really pretty. I like running that under the lower lash line. It's just a very pretty palette. It's really fun. I love this orange shade over here, Hippie. You can see some of the ones that I dig into more often. But the reason I have a love-hate relationship with it is because look at what your options are for transition shades. Are you seeing any? Because there really aren't any. It's kind of weird. So it's like a palette that I sort of have to pull out another palette with. I mean, you can do an all, you know, a full look with it, but sometimes it's hard to really get what you want and not have it be like a million different colors, like if you don't want it to be a rainbowy look. And so that is my problem with it. That's the only thing I hate about it, is I wish it had just a simple, more like of a beige tone. You know, just something like that to be more of a transition. So that is why I have a love-hate relationship with this palette, because I mostly love it, but I just hate that aspect of it. And number 10 is the one you gave a second chance. That would be, so when I first used this palette, I was like, it's not what I was expecting. And I was so excited about getting it. And so I was so disappointed the first time I used it, because I'm like, this just didn't do what I pictured it doing, you know? And, but I decided to pull it back out and try it again. And I ended up finding that I really enjoyed it. It is the Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette. And when I was getting it, I was super excited about this yellow. That was the color that just drew me to it, made me so excited about it. Now, as you can see, I've got some pretty good dents and things, because this ended up being one of my most favorite palettes for summer last year. I used this thing all summer. On our church camping trip, I, try not to take too many things with me because we're in our trailer for 10 days. Actually 12 days usually. But, and so I try not to have too big, bulky, palettes and stuff. And I took this with me and used it almost every day and could create different looks with it. And I loved it. Like I said, I used it pretty much every day of that trip. Now, it was supposed to smell like lemonade. Mine doesn't really smell like anything, to be honest. It didn't from the beginning. I realize now it's like over a year old, but even from the beginning it didn't. So I don't know, but who cares? But this shocked me. It shocked me. Now the yellow still is not my favorite. It doesn't deliver a lot of pigment. It doesn't do like the pop like that yellow looks like in the palette. So that's kind of a bummer, and I kind of feel like I have a little bit of hard pan on it too, actually. But these shimmers now, I'm not gonna lie, they will get fallout on your face. But in the summer, when you have a tan and stuff, I don't really mind that as much. It's more in the winter, like I don't want that. But in the summer, when you're just, feeling more, you got good color and that kind of stuff, I kind of don't mind that little bit of sparkle on my face. So that was my one I gave a second chance. And so that was my little makeup romances tag. And I just thought that was really fun. I thought it would be fun to share with you guys the palettes in my collection that I feel these certain ways to, or about. I'm saying really weird stuff right now. Like, the words that are coming out of my mouth are not what's in my brain. There's like a disconnect happening here. I'm not really sure what, but they need to get back together. They need to create a little romance, because it's making me sound kind of stupid. But anyway, I just thought it was really fun to be able to share some of the things in my collection and the way I feel about them, and some things that I don't have in my collection that I wish I did. I really want those Kaleidos makeup palettes so bad. I don't know, I gotta think on that, and I better do it quick before they sell out. But yeah, the Futurism trio, I mean, seriously, check out that video of Paulina doing the looks with it. It's, oh my gosh, it just makes me so excited. Like, there's not a whole lot of palettes and stuff that come out that I get like excited about. And when I saw those, I was super excited. Like, I'm like, oh, what I could do with that. Oh my gosh. So, I should probably just get them. Somebody give me some words of wisdom. Tell me what to do right now. But $59 is like, for me, if you know me, if you watch my channel and you know how thrifty I am, $59 for essentially 18 eyeshadows is like a part of me is shriveling up and crying. But a part of me is going, oh, but you will love them. You would use them and you could look so pretty. You know how it goes. So you guys let me know what you think of my answers. And if any of you, I'm not going to specifically tag anybody in this, but if you want to do this tag, please let me know that you did it. I will put the questions down below in the description box, so it's easy for you to look and see what they are. And I want to watch yours if you do it, so make sure to let me know if you do. And I just thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, something a little different, and just, I thought it was fun. So hopefully you did too. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye.